The laughter echoed through the grand hall, a symphony of mockery that burned my skin like acid. Glasses clinked, hushed whispers turned into open ridicule, and all eyes settled on me. The man of the hour, the joke of the evening. Amanda stood at the center of it all, her crimson dress hugging every curve, a smirk playing on her lips as she twirled a champagne flute between delicate fingers. My wife, the woman I had cherished, the woman I had sacrificed for, just called me a loser in front of everyone. And they agreed. I clenched my jaw, gripping the whiskey glass in my hand until my knuckles turned white. The weight of 100 stares pressed against my chest, but hers hurt the most. She didn't look at me with the love we once shared. No, her gaze carried something sharper. Disdain. "Come on, don't take it so seriously," she giggled, nudging her friend, Eric, the very man who had been getting a little too close to her lately. "It's just a joke." A joke. Like my years of dedication. Like the nights I stayed up working so she could live comfortably. Like the love I gave her, unwavering, blind to the signs. "You're pathetic," she whispered near my ear as she brushed past me, her perfume intoxicating, her voice venomous. I took a slow breath, letting the insult simmer inside me. My pulse roared, my vision sharpened, and for the first time in years, I saw Amanda for who she truly was. A woman who never loved me, a woman who used me. And that realization set something ablaze inside me. Something dark, something hungry for retribution. I finished my drink in one swallow, placing the empty glass on the bar counter. My fingers trembled, not with sadness, but with something else. Clarity. The party continued around me, laughter and flirtation swirling in the air like thick smoke. Couples danced under the chandeliers, oblivious to the storm brewing within me. Amanda was at the center of it, throwing her head back in laughter as Eric whispered something in her ear. His hand brushed against her lower back, lingering too long. I had enough. I turned on my heel, walking through the sea of beautifully dressed socialites, past the waiters carrying silver trays of hors d'oeuvres, past the doorway leading into the mansion I once called home. Tonight marked the end of something, and the beginning of my revenge. The drive home was a blur of street lights and rage. My grip on the steering wheel tightened with every memory of Amanda's voice, her laughter, the way she humiliated me. My chest burned, not from heartbreak, but from the sheer stupidity of letting myself believe she was ever mine. I had spent years giving her everything, my love, my time, my energy. And she had spent those years looking down on me, using me, probably laughing behind my back long before tonight. Not anymore. By the time I pulled into the driveway, my decision had been made. I wasn't going to wallow. I wasn't going to beg. I was going to ruin her, slowly, thoroughly, in a way she would never recover from. The mansion loomed in the darkness, its walls a prison I had built for myself. Every corner held memories of her touch, her scent, her voice whispering empty promises. I stepped inside, closing the door with deliberate calm. My phone buzzed, a message from Amanda. "Don't be so sensitive, babe. You know I didn't mean it. Come back to the party." I stared at the words, a cold smirk curling my lips. She thought I'd come crawling. She thought I'd forgive her like I always did. Not this time. I ignored the message, heading straight for my office. The desk drawer slid open with ease, revealing a folder I had never thought I'd need. Inside were documents I had kept out of paranoia, records of our finances, assets, joint accounts, things Amanda never paid attention to because she was too busy enjoying the luxury I provided. I picked up a pen, signing my name at the bottom of the divorce papers I had drawn up months ago but never had the courage to use. Until now. My phone vibrated again. Another message. "Eric and I are heading to the club after this. Don't wait up." She didn't even try to hide it. I exhaled slowly, my anger sharpening into something precise. Amanda thought she was untouchable, that I was too weak to do anything about her betrayal. I would show her how wrong she was. The first step was cutting her off. Every account she had access to, frozen. Every credit card she used, cancelled. The mansion, in my name. The luxury car she flaunted, paid for by me. She had nothing without me, and by morning she would wake up to that reality. The second step, something more personal. I leaned back in my chair, my mind spinning with possibilities. I wouldn't just leave her. I would make her regret ever thinking she could humiliate me. I opened my laptop, my fingers flying across the keyboard. If Amanda wanted to play dirty, I would make sure she drowned in the filth she created. By the time I was done, the night had stretched into dawn. My plan was in motion, and all I had to do was wait. Amanda had no idea that her perfect world was about to collapse. Morning arrived with a crisp chill, the first sign that Amanda's world was about to shatter. I sipped my coffee, watching the sun rise through the massive windows of my mansion. The silence was comforting, a stark contrast to the chaos I had unleashed just hours ago. The phone on the table buzzed violently, call after call, all from Amanda. I let it ring, savoring the desperation I knew she must be feeling. When it finally stopped, a stream of messages followed. What the hell is going on? My card got declined at the club. Call me now, I smirked, setting my cup down. She hadn't even made it home yet. Probably spent the night with Eric, completely unaware that the comfort she was so used to was slipping through her fingers. Then came the last message, the one that made me chuckle. You can't do this to me. Oh, but I could, and I did. I grabbed my keys, heading out with a calmness that felt foreign. There was more to be done. This was only the beginning. By the time I arrived at the law office, everything was already in motion. My lawyer, an old friend who had seen this coming long before I did, slid the final documents across the desk. "You're sure you want to go through with this?" he asked, his gaze steady. I picked up the pen, my grip steady. More than anything. With one stroke, I signed away years of a loveless marriage, sealing Amanda's fate in ink. When I stepped out of the office, the crisp morning air felt different, lighter, as if a weight had finally lifted from my chest. I checked my phone again. More missed calls, more frantic messages. I finally decided to answer. Amanda's voice came through, raw with frustration. "What the hell is wrong with you?" "Good morning to you too," I said calmly, walking towards my car. "Don't play games with me. My accounts are frozen, my cards aren't working, and the bank says I'm not authorized to access anything. Fix this now." I leaned against the driver's door, letting the silence stretch before speaking. "You named me a loser in front of everyone last night. Why would a loser pay for your lifestyle?" The breath she sucked in was sharp. "You're being petty," I cut her off. "No, Amanda, I'm being smart." The silence on her end was delicious. She had spent years controlling me, but now, for the first time, she had nothing. "Come home," she finally said, her voice softer. I laughed. "Oh, Amanda, this is my home. You, on the other hand, you have an hour to get your things and leave." She gasped. "You can't do that." I hung up before she could finish. Let her feel the panic. Let her know what it meant to be discarded. I slid into the driver's seat, a slow smile forming. This was far from over. The hour passed faster than Amanda must have expected. By the time I pulled into the driveway, her luxury suitcase sat on the front steps, a pitiful sight against the grand entrance of my mansion. She stood there, arms crossed, fury burning behind her tired eyes. She wasn't the untouchable queen of the social scene anymore. She was just a desperate woman who had lost everything overnight. I stepped out of the car, adjusting my cufflinks. "All packed?" Her jaw clenched. "You really think you can just throw me out like this?" "I don't think, Amanda. I know." I strolled past her, unlocking the door with ease. She tried to push her way inside, but I blocked her with nothing more than a raised hand. Panic flickered across her face. "We need to talk." "No, you need to listen." I leaned against the doorframe, looking her over. "You laughed at me, humiliated me. You thought I was too weak to do anything about it." She swallowed hard. "It was just a joke." I chuckled, shaking my head. "A joke?" "No, Amanda. A joke is you standing here, thinking you still have a place in my life." Tears welled in her eyes, but I didn't feel sympathy. Not anymore. "Where am I supposed to go?" she whispered. I smirked. "Maybe Eric will take you in." Her breath hitched. I had hit the nerve I was aiming for. "Speaking of Eric," I pulled out my phone, opening a set of pictures. "Thought you'd like to know he's been using you just as much as you used me." I turned the screen toward her, letting her see exactly what I had discovered last night. Eric, tangled in silk sheets, but not with her. Another woman, another lie. Her face went pale. "No, no, that's not possible." "Oh, it's very possible." I slipped my phone back into my pocket. "You thought you were playing the game, Amanda. Turns out, you were the one being played." A sob tore through her, raw and broken. She reached out, fingers trembling, but I took a step back. "Goodbye, Amanda." I shut the door in her face. Through the glass, I watched as the realization sank in. She had lost her marriage, her security, her status. And worst of all, she had lost to the very man she underestimated. As I walked away, her muffled cries faded into nothing. For the first time in years, I felt free.